All right, so I don't know where I'm gonna start or like where this video is gonna come out at, but I've done a lot. Last thing you saw was me paint the actual, I guess you say the body of the car. Since then, I've painted the fenders, the hood, the bumpers, the wing, and I just didn't videotape much of it really at all because I'm just in a rush. And as anybody understands that does any of this YouTube stuff, it takes up a lot of time. Obviously, I'm trying to provide content because I enjoy watching other people, and I think some people obviously enjoy watching my stuff. With all that being said, I will catch you up on what it is, and most of it's nothing special, right? Painting's painting. You watch me kind of start to paint. I did run into some hiccups on the bumpers and the wing and stuff, but it's resolved for now, and some of it is, you know, it is what it is. It's still a track car. I think it does look really good still, but some small minor imperfections that I might fix later on in the road that I won't have to respray or anything. So the car, as of right now, this is how she looks. Right? Much different. So hood is on, resprayed all that with SEM black. I resprayed all the moldings, the door handle, all with SEM black. You can see I sprayed up here with SEM black, the mirror, and just kind of got this whole side is pretty much good. The downfall is down there. I did spray that trim piece, but I never had the actual clips that went onto it. They broke a long time ago, and whether you guys realize or not, but I had it held on with 3M tape. And it's held on great. I mean, it's been tracked, it's done the thing, it's been an accident, you know, as far as the track's concerned. It's held up fine, so I'm gonna 3M it back on there. It still has the bottom clips that attach to the door, and I'll use those and along with the 3M tape. So, the bumper, I will get into it later, but there are quick disconnects on each side right now. The hood alignment to the bumper is just night and day from what it used to look like. Matt and everyone else that helped with it, I mean, Matt, Joey, it looks great. Now, these aren't actually like in yet, they're just kind of guided there just as a rough piece. Now the passenger side, here's what I'm definitely gonna show you. If you notice, the fender is sanded. The passenger door is not sanded yet. Now, I'm not getting super crazy, but for the most part, I mean, she's dusty now, but for the most part, you might be able to see some orange peel still showing through. I'm not gonna get crazy. I know I could flatten that even more, but that's kind of about what I did to the rest of the car, and it looks pretty dang good. It is a solid 5-footer. Are there some small things? Again, yes. But, so I'm just gonna kind of walk you guys through on what I did to, you know, kind of bring the paint out. Because after this door is done, then I gotta actually, you know, SEM paint all the black trim that goes on this side. And I still have to do, here's the wing, still hanging. But I'm gonna do the same thing, right? The mounts are still primered right now. I will spray those with SEM black also. So let's get started. This video, at least right now, is definitely gonna be just how I go about sanding this driver's side door and then buffing the door and the fender we kind of see before and afters. All right, so there's probably more efficient ways of doing this. This is what I've been doing, because this is what I got. I just basically fill a little squirt bottle of water, bucket full of water. I've got some 1500 grit, which is what I'm gonna start with. Then I've got some 2000. Some 15, and we got 3,000, then 5, then 7. Kind of just dipping all that in the water. Mine's kind of hot, so if you see my hand peer out, if I dip in, I'm like, whoo. It's because it's like 25 degrees outside. The garage is pretty decent now, but it's still, you know. All right, so for starters, what you cannot see is some of the things in the paint. I'm gonna try to get you to see it. Like right here's one of them. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I'm trying to get in the right light. It's like a little dust nib. That will absolutely wet sand out. There are some of them on the panel. The things that I laid flat, like the roof, you know, the roof, the sunroof, the hood, they got it way worse than the doors and everything else, than even like the wing. The things that were just laying flat, just I guess the overspray of the clear drying it, or maybe it was dust, I don't know. But I'm not gonna touch up here until I get to maybe like the 2000 or the 3000 grit. But, so now I'm just gonna kind of sit here and go through the long part here, which is basically, I'm gonna soak the door. I'm not gonna touch the bottom half yet. I'm gonna do just the top half first. Some people like to start a little more aggressive. I've just kind of found that 1500 grit is a happy place for me. That's where I'm gonna start. Some people use blocks, I understand. In my case, I'm just gonna use my hand to try to put even pressure on it. Okay, and the 1500 is going to take the longest. I use it mostly to kind of even out most of the panel, and then I will move over to the 2000. And again, the smoother you get it, the faster it'll polish. I'm looking for it to polish, but I'm not going for anything crazy because I could be here for a while. Since I did flow coat this, I'm sure I could be. I'm gonna kind of go in different directions. And yeah, we'll catch up in a second after I'm done doing this panel here. All right, so here it is after 3 total passes. If you get real close, you might be able to see some slight orange peel still poking through here and there. I ended up doing the bottom too. I know I said I wasn't, but I kind of left the edges, kind of started up at the top. I didn't get crazy and left the edge there. So now, basically do the exact same process. Just go with 2, 3, and 5, then 7 in this case. The only difference is I'll probably only do like maybe 1 or 2 passes with each other grit. The 1500, I did a good 3 passes over it because it just cuts that much faster. But once it's pretty leveled out, it, 2 and so forth, just kind of make it that much smoother. So I'm just gonna time lapse this and we'll just see how long it ends up taking here. But this is the time consuming process to this. And then buffing is also time consuming, but let's just get after it. All right, so it's all sanded. I'll show you that in a second, but to buff the fender, I like to just take the bumper off, it'll just be easier. So what better time than to show you. So all right, so here we go. Just kind of push that. I might loosen these a little bit because they're pretty tight, which is easy to do. I'll show you. We'll pop this one. They're both popped. So now I did leave the little white plastic guy back here, just kind of help align it. All right, so that side's off. Let's walk our way, do the same thing over here. All right, so now it's off. So now I just need to essentially pick it up. Just gonna pull it out from this side. Pull it out from that side and just pull. There we go. So here's what we essentially did. This is the bracket where the fender meets the headlight. And I kind of just made a thing out of steel. Put a little guy there. She's very solid. And same concept over here. Boom. So now to make that a little loose, I can just kind of loosen this and back this out, kind of unscrew just a little bit. All right, so everything I've run online says to do a 2 foot by 2 foot or a 3 foot by 3 foot. So I'm going to do the fender first. So you should be able to see they're both pretty matte. Obviously in comparison to the rear quarter, you should definitely be able to see. So we'll be able to do the fender first and see where it connects to the passenger door. So here's what I've been using. Griot's Garage Fast Correcting Cream. And I bought one of their Griot's, I think it's the G9, it's a 6-inch. So what I kind of like about this is, so for someone like myself, this is like the first time I've ever like really cut and buffed anything. So from what I gathered was a random orbital is a lot less likely to burn through anything than just a, an orbital. So, or a rotary, sorry, a lot less to burn through than a rotary is. And the wool pad's the most, aggressive. So what I like about Griot's Garage is, so like for instance, this is in white, this down here, this Boss Best of Show system. So it means you use their white pad is what's recommended for like beginners. Obviously you can get crazy and use the wool pad if you want to remove a little faster and so forth. I bought like a perfecting cream, which is yellow, and you would use the yellow pad. All right, so I'm pretty sure a detailer is going to kill me right now, but this pad has already been used. So I don't need to, I guess, like condition it, which in theory, you just kind of make sure the pad is all saturated so you don't burn anything and make sure it's lubricated. So what I also like about this, it has like this round head here, so you can kind of just, I would do this better with 2 hands, but. So I'm just gonna kind of put that much on there. And what's also great is the box. I mean, it's literally, they try to make this idiot proof for people like myself that's never done this, right? So here's the back of the box. It tells you like what kind of defects it's for, blah, blah, blah. And if you look closely, it tells you to use speed 4 or 5 for the correcting cream. So the fast correcting cream, that is. So what I've been doing is putting it on 2 and spreading it. So the adjustment's here. I'm just gonna kind of tap. This is way too much for the fender, I've discovered. This stuff goes a long way, which is nice. But, all right, so I'm gonna put it on 2, spread it around a little bit more, and then move it up to 5 and actually buff it. all spread around. Crank it up to 5, and I'm gonna do basically 4 passes. 2 horizontal, 2 vertical, and we'll go from there. And it's gonna be kind of slow. I might speed this up. All right, so you can kind of see maybe it already got a little like shinier. Nothing crazy, but I'm gonna grab my clean microfiber towel, and this stuff comes off so easy. Whoop, got a little bit there in the, makes sense. Well, let's turn to the other side here now. So don't keep spreading that, but don't want to get this dirty. We're not a professional. Looking at the timestamp there, it was 8 minutes and 50 seconds right now. All right, hopefully this comes through, but there she is for the second one. And there's the door. Now it's kind of got a little shadow in the garage, but you get it, there it is. Let's close the hood here. It's probably got a little dusty to it, but so now I'm just gonna essentially repeat that for the driver or the passenger door. I'm out of SEM trim paint at the moment. I've got a little bit left in 2 cans, and if you ever used it, when it gets kind of low, it just kind of spits. But I'm gonna try to buff this door. I'm gonna spray the handle at least, that way I can put the door handle in, and then I guess maybe vacuum out the interior maybe and start putting the rest of the interior together. While I wait for that, I could probably just run some Plastex, you know, stuff on the corner lights, get those buttoned up a little bit. But I still want to spray with SEM black. I still want to spray the wing uprights just to kind of freshen it up. The splitter that's on the ground there, she's definitely dirty. I'm gonna wipe that off, see what she comes out like, and we'll kind of go from there. So I'm not gonna waste your time just watching me do the exact same thing, but that's essentially what I did for this whole car so far, is that. And again, like, all right, so I see them, right? They stick out. But like there's one right there. You might be able to see it. The light just hits it just right. I think once you get outside, you're never gonna really see it. And you're just gonna be looking at the car and it is what it is. But if I had to take a guess, there's like tiny little dust nibs that maybe that I missed. There's probably all over the entire car, maybe 25 of them, you know, between all pieces, which is, I know there's not much. Some people are gonna be like, oh, don't worry about it. And I'm not fully worried about it, but I'm a little OCD on certain things. And again, standing right here, 5 feet, you're never gonna notice those things. And if I need to fix them, I definitely can. I just need to wet sand just a little bit, that spots. But that'll do for now as far as like the dust nibs. So, all right, I'm just gonna get after this passenger door here. I gotta try to push through this. All right, let me just start off. I'm sure most people now, you'd have like some kind of sweet cinematic rollout of the car, showing how good it looks, this and that. So I started procrastinating towards the end of this, which is also, I mean, so I hauled, you know, as much ass as I could to get everything done. And then I was like so close. Like I had to put the bumper back on, the splitter on, put the seats in, and just kind of tidy some stuff up. And I started slacking. And then it got pretty much like 2 days before our next time attack practice day. And I was like, man, I gotta hurry up. So I never took any time to really get any good photos or pictures of her. So right now I'm gonna show you a clip, and this is how my first hot lap went on time attack day. Wild, right? Car just came out of paint in my house, super stoked, back together, and then that happens. You can obviously imagine, you know, mentally what that would do to you. So I was really slow the rest of the day. I just couldn't get couldn't get focused. But I'm gonna show you the car. I have not washed it or anything. I've just done, you know, what you kind of saw earlier in the video. And yeah, so don't get me wrong, she was way shinier at one point, but she's a little dirty down there now. You can see the wheels, right? Definitely got some good stuff. Most of it it's just soft dirt. I just need to wash it. Splitter covered in it from just, you know, the ice you saw. It's got some stuff up there. Same thing, you know, with that side of the wheel, blah, blah, blah. The mirror's got it. It just needs a little bit of a wipe down here now, which just kind of sucks, right? Because I just put it together. But I was just I wanted to get out there. You can see the mounts. Ended up painting those black. I think it looks better that way. Wing got polished, the bumpers, everything's done. I even went ahead and did the rear tail lights. don't know if you'll be able to tell without any, oh no, I think you can tell. But they got really good. Basically did the same thing to them as I did to the car. Same compound, same buffer, and I ended up doing it to the corner lights as well. I think it really just kind of made things pop. Car looks great. I couldn't be happier with how good of a job it came out. I know this is probably not the best clip because she's dirty, but I haven't washed her. So you got to figure, right, the body's been sitting here done for probably over a month now, and I just haven't done anything to her. I'm not wiping her with anything. I have done a little bit of some Greer's Garage speed shine just to kind of like take some dirt off her, but I need to like do that to the whole car. I'm just trying not to actually wash the car, I guess, for, I don't know, like 60 days. And after like 60 to 90 days, I'm gonna end up just grabbing, I already have it, but Greer's Garage is their polishing compound, and then go over the whole car with it, and then end up waxing the car and, you know, call it, you know, that's it, that's done. I mean, she's done now. I've got a couple things, right? Like, I got to put this headliner or the sunroof thing back up on the inside. There's a couple little things like that that I still got to do. I just was trying to get it ready. I mean, obviously I can go track it without that in there, but I want to put it back in. So there's some things like that that I got to tidy up, but not a huge ordeal. I can't stress how awesome and how pleased I am with this. Like, this sounds so dumb right now, but the doors needed a little adjusting before. I just never adjusted them. Like, great. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Just proved me wrong there. There we go. It's just, it functions. It's just nice. Just the little things, right? I mean, passenger door, even better. Same thing, but a little bit of a push. There we go. It's just fantastic. Super happy with how everything is, how it came out. Obviously not happy about that off. The off, for lack of better words, I'm not even gonna get into it. I'll explain it in the next video. Just know the next video is gonna entail, I'm gonna realign the car. I have honed rear toe arms, adjustable arms coming in, and I have rear brake pads coming in. I just changed the front, which had something to do with how that went down. And yeah, so that's coming in, and that'll be the next video. And then after that, hopefully will be either me doing a private track day or the next practice or something. But actually, no, we have on March, I think March 5th, we've got a dyno day. It's basically a speed shop around here is doing it's a dyno, 3 pulls. They're gonna weigh our cars. And like a barbecue for all of us that do the time attack stuff. We're just gonna go out there, see what classes we are in, how we are, and so forth. And I'm gonna play with my boost a bit, which also has made my entire, I noticed something that I enabled in the ECU a long time ago that I never messed with since, and I thought I got rid of it, but I didn't, which also has made the car a little harder to drive. But again, I'll get into that next video. All in all, I hope this showed some stuff for you guys. Again, I'm a beginner, so I probably showed some stuff, you know, that I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm not a bodywork guy. I'll claim to, you know, do a little bit of some engine stuff and fab things like that, but painting, whole new adventure. Way more confident than I was even before I started it. And again, if you follow, I did, you know, I painted the S2000 bumper, painted some CRX bumpers of mine, and I had some practice on some other people's stuff. But overall, again, man, I will get you guys some beauty shots. I'm just super stoked at how good she came back out. I need to kind of hose her off and clean her a bit, but if you got any questions, comments, concerns, man, put it down in the comments below. Message me on Instagram, whatever the case may be. I appreciate everybody for following, watching, staying tuned, and everyone that does, you know, give feedback. I do listen to all of it. I try my best to, you know, reply that I can. And yeah, can't wait to put out the next video, what we're gonna have here. So stay tuned for the next video.